Starting off with a banger, everybody. Like the hat? Welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Now, I have a little too much coffee, so I might be talking a little too fast, but I might also be talking a little too fast because I'm going to try to get through a movie that Logan and I watched last night. Welcome to installment 1 out of 12 that I'm calling the 12 Flicks of Christmas. Hallmark-based, usually Hallmark Christmas movies, and we'll see how crazy they are. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Usually, like a good Clint Eastwood film, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me turn down the volume a little bit on this and keep the Christmas music going. So our first film is called Merry In-Laws, and I don't know if you're supposed to say it like Merry In-Laws or Merry In-Laws, but it's a film. It definitely qualifies as a movie. Actually, it wasn't that bad. There's good, bad, and ugly. I'll start with the good. The good is it had, and by the way, this is a 2012 film, and then it was remade in 2016. We watched the 2012 version. YouTube is putting a lot of older movies, especially Hallmark movies, on YouTube. You watch them for free. You get a decent amount of ads, but the ads are short. Like classic YouTube ads are usually 6 to 15 seconds, so it's not too bad. And the good, Shelley Long and George Wendt, former co-stars of probably, I'd have to put in the top 10 easily of one of the most successful sitcoms ever, Cheers. And it's very cute because they play Santa and Mrs. Claus, and Shelley Long looks really good, and so does George Wendt. George Wendt is still very heavy, but he looked fine. I think they're both in their 60s when they did this role. Shelley Long is actually kind of chubby, but she's very cute and grandmother-ish, and she also answers the question, or she provides the answer to the $38,000 question. I will explain what that is in my next video. So the way I'm going to do these is probably I'm going to do one video about these Christmas movies, do 12 of them, and then intersperse them. Every other one I'll do something else. Probably Christmas-based, but maybe not. And because I'm trying to get to 365, and as you guys know, I'm a little bit behind. So if I do 2 a day, I should be able to get there by the end of the year. Like the hat has bells on it. So, Merry In-Laws. I'm going to shut this off. Merry In-Laws, as usual, these movies always have the kind of the same old tropes. This obviously, and it's pretty obvious what's going on in the title, right? This woman is like an astrophysicist, and she's very, prim and proper. And although at the beginning of the movie, her soon-to-be husband just kind of grabs her and gets her to have sex with him right before she goes to work, so she's not that prim and proper. But but outside of that, she's very prim, proper, intelligent, scientist, and of course what do we want to say, like a common sense type of person, a rational person. They're almost too rational, right? Errs on the side of caution. That type of person gets excited when she discovers a solar flare or a quasar somewhere that never been discovered, which is pretty cool when you think about it. But this guy, her soon-to-be husband, is complete goofball. And by the way, these two actors they're fine, I guess. I think the woman did a better job than the man. Her name is like Kasia Warshawski, which good luck in Hollywood with a name like that. She's very cute, and I thought she did a fine job in this, but I don't think I've heard of her, maybe. But anyway, to go back real quick, and by the way, I'm going to be talking about tangentializing. I'm going to be doing that all over this video. I'll probably all over all 12 of these videos. But I do think about these people and just the log jam that Hollywood must be. It reminded me of a scene, these actors' plight that try to become stars or try to just make a living in Hollywood. It's through the entertainment industry. It's not easy. And it reminded me of Swingers, which is one of my favorite movies. And there's a part where this guy's lamenting about, man, I came from New York to California to try to get into the entertainment industry. It's been super hard, and it ends up that he's trying to. He was going to be Goofy at Disneyland. He's going to enter Goofy's costume and be Goofy. He's actually applying for that job. He doesn't even get that job. And so they're at the bar, and he's like, man, I can't even be Goofy. He's like, man, I was Hamlet in Central Park a couple months ago, and I was good. So it is interesting. Like, these people have probably built up, good resumes, become good actors, and they're just not making it for whether it's luck or they're not quite the talent level they need to be. That is one thing I will say. You can see the difference in the levels, even if sitcom actors, I think we kind of discount sitcom actors a lot because we don't think they're great actors. But Shelley Long won an Emmy and 2 Golden Globes during her time at Cheers, and also probably committed one of the most heinous acts of career suicide ever in Hollywood history when she bailed on Cheers at the height of its success, and then Kirstie Alley came in and took over. But anyway, I'm getting too much into careers. Let's talk about this movie because, like I said, I'm pumped up on coffee. I snorted a little Coke. Merry Christmas. You do the snow, right? Anyway. Everyone, I'm kidding when I say that. I can't ever do Coke. Ever, ever, ever. Never have, never will. I'm hyper enough on my own. Coffee's it for me. Except for the mushrooms I talked about a couple episodes ago. But that's it. Anyway, so back to the movie. Not bad. The old classic trope. So, of course, her family is all stodgy and sciency and, frankly, boring. The mom's a psychologist. The dad is also some sort of scientist, maybe also an astrophysicist. I think he's more renowned, so the daughter's trying to live up to his name. And then, of course, on the other side of the family, Mr. and Mrs. Claus are the parents. There's a child in the mix. They don't really explain too much about where the child came from. It looks like a first marriage. He's definitely the woman's son. He's like 5 or 6. He's adorable. Yeah, I thought he did a fine job as a 5 or 6 year old actor. And of course, he's come to the crossroads that a lot of kids that age, or maybe a little older, come to, that I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. So that also folds into this story, right? I thought some of the music was a little goofy. I thought most of the production qualities were fine. Logan and I this is a great bonding experience. If you can just have people over, one person, even if yourself, and have like maybe a little spiked eggnog with these movies, I think you can have a lot of fun. Like I said last week, my friend Troy and I had a fistful of mushrooms with Avengers Endgame. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes you need to be a little tweaked up to watch these movies and enjoy them. Last night I didn't. Logan provided the tweaking, and we would just laugh at some of the goofy stuff in this movie. Like I said, the mom of the daughter of the main character, she's a psychologist, and she just sits this kid aside and just launches into him about, why would you believe in Santa Claus? Nope. And we have those moments in all of these type of Hallmark movies, and maybe movies in general, where I just point at the screen, no human would say that. No human would do that. I don't care how much of a psychologist you are. You would not, upon first meeting this child, take him to the side in the foyer or wherever she sat him down, and tell this kid that it's not rational to believe in Santa Claus. I'm 5. I'm not supposed to be rational. I can barely poop on the toilet on my own. Well, hopefully he's pretty well into that world. But so that's that you have those moments where you just go, no. And I know we shouldn't be expecting a lot of realism. It's a movie about Santa Claus, for God's sake. But there's still like some of those tropes like, geez, this is really over the top for this character. The dad characters on the woman's side is also very stodgy and sciencey, and does a background check into into Santa Claus. Goes into the bathroom after Santa Claus brushes his teeth and gets a swab of his saliva somehow, and then magically it goes into like a USB drive that plugs into the computer. Not his computer, by the way. They're at the couple's house, so it's not his computer. It's not a laptop. It's like a PC. And somehow this is new technology where you can just take DNA, put it in something that goes into a hard drive or a thumb drive, and just a USB, and all of a sudden you got genetic information. So that was pretty hilarious too. What else? There's so much. Oh, the editing. Mostly good, but there are parts in the beginning where I think they're trying to get you to watch this movie. They're trying to hook you, and they're showing these scenes. And if like I said, hopefully during these 2 weeks that I have off from school and I do these reviews, I can make them edit them and show you some of the scenes in this movie, because I mean, just some of them are just horrific, where they show the Christmas lights like on a street, but they do it super like fast, like it feels like an MTV video from the 90s where it's way too fast, the editing's too fast. I'm like, this is a Christmas movie, take it easy. I always wonder about the director's motivations and the editor's motivations when I see some of these scenes. Like, I'm gonna have a seizure. I don't need a seizure while I'm watching a Christmas movie. I don't want it to be boring, admittedly, because it is 2021, but I don't want a seizure. I mean, there's somewhere they're just doing angles and really fast cuts, and I'd like to show you some of those, but I don't want you to have a seizure. But that is that's most of the movie. Maybe, you know what? I'll just keep going. If it's too long of a video, you guys let me know. I'll talk about some other things that went on in this movie that were hilarious. Let's see. We got the editing, the music, the writing was decent. There's always the old trope. Oh, I was going to go. Part of the reason I was laughing is because the dad on the woman's side, the science dad, the astrophysicist dad. Like I said, he gets DNA from Santa Claus, tries to somehow magically stick it into his computer, and it somehow glitches out because, Santa Claus, we can't know who he is. and just the way he was funny is he kind of looked like Orson Welles, and Logan just kept, every time that dude was on screen, Logan's like, Orson Welles, I expect him to start clapping by himself, like the scene in Citizen Kane where Orson Welles is the only one clapping in the entire audience for his cute, chippy, young but terrible operatic singer. So if you know that scene, it's a great scene and horrific scene at the same time. It's just a telling scene of how we try to convince ourselves that this is right and that this person that I love, or at least enjoy, is really not the right person for the thing I've thrust her into. So I think that's most of it. I could probably go on, like I say, I'll try to cut it at 12, but I might go on 15 minutes about this thing. I keep looking over, and I have a still screen here of just a beautiful tree and wreath and fireplace. I don't have any information here, so I'm going all off the top of my head after watching this last night. So that'll be my plan, is to watch one a night, do the review in the morning or maybe that night, and get through 12 of these. Maybe we'll do 12 minutes. There's a nice theme. We got 12 flicks of Christmas. We'll maybe do 12 minutes each because there's always a lot to talk about. I will give them credit. They filmed this movie in Canada, so they actually had real snow. That was kind of cool. I did not look up the director's name, but like I said, when I want to tell these directors, this is not your film school project to prove all the things you can do as a director and editor. It's just a Christmas movie. Take a breath, make it funny, make it quirky, make it a little weird, but don't try all these editing tricks or tropes that make me think that I'm about to watch a video by Poison in 1987. I don't need it. All right, thanks you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the lights and the hat. I'm a man of many hats, and I'll get a couple others before this is all over. That's part 1 of 12, 12 Flicks of Christmas. Enjoy, and have a great holiday, and we'll talk soon. Bye.